What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're working on our boy Homer back here. We're trying to electrify him a little bit. And what I mean about that is we're going to try to get an alternator system set up for him so we're not charging multiple batteries and having to haul them from event to event to make sure he's got enough power to run his engine. So let me show you the problem we're kind of running into real quick. So generally on Mopars, the alternator is mounted on the left side of the engine here. As you can see by all the provisions inside this head for the different type of mounting situations you have. Generally you have some that'll mount off the bracket for the AC unit, and then you have some systems that'll mount off a V bracket that is on this side of the head. But we can't put the alternator here because of this. We have absolutely no room. The nipple for my water pump's in the way, and then this big old massive blower belt's in the way. So what we're going to try to have to do is run an alternator on this side of the engine and then thread the needle down through here and catch the crank right here. And in order to do that, we got to get one of these billet pulleys to work. So essentially, I'm going to have to take everything back apart, remove this spacer right here, and put this pulley in its place to allow a provision to run the alternator belt. And in order to do all of that, we've got to be able to mount the alternator up here somewhere, get it to line up with that perfect, and use only one bolt hole up here in the block, or I'm sorry, in the head, and then make a provision down there somewhere on the timing chain cover. Maybe use one of the motor mount bolts, I'm not really for sure, as the other mount. So anyway, we're going to piddle fart around with that today and see if we can get Homer some electricity so we're not running off multiple batteries. So if any of that boring old content interests you, sit back in your chair and get you something to drink, because we're going to get after it. This is Buster Radio Garage. All right, guys, real quick before I start going over here and going through these bins, I'll kind of show you what I'm looking for. As you can see here on Artie, maybe you can or maybe you can't, there's a bracket down here that's the V bracket. You can see one end here by my fingertip, and the other end is over here mounted to this AC bracket. And then over here on Miss Mabel, the alternator is essentially just bolted to this AC bracket that comes over here on the air conditioner, and I'll show you that over here. So essentially this is where the alternator is bolted to on the air conditioner. So what we're going to have to do is, I really don't want to make something out of this bracket because I'm really not going to have nowhere for it to bolt. If I absolutely have to, I'll cut this and make something. My main goal is to find that V bracket. And any of you that have been in this channel more than 15 minutes know that I don't throw any car parts away. I keep everything. So I have tubs here of old car parts, old brackets, just about anything. There's even new belts, alternators, power steering pumps, and everything in these bins. And then I have another rack over there with the same thing. And then I have bins back there in the corner full of car parts. And then over in storage with the other cars, I have like tons of totes full of parts. So surely between all of those, I'll be able to find that V bracket. So that's what I'm gonna look for first. So let's get these totes drug out and see what we can find. The booger about tearing all this apart is I just put all this, back in here. But as you can see in here, there's alternators and brackets, and they're listed to what cars they go to. So let's see if we can find one of those. All right, guys, I went through those totes. No bueno, could not find anything. So we're gonna rifle through some of this real quick and see if I can find some here, or find one of those V brackets here, and we'll go from there. It's just, there's crap everywhere. Any of you people, ladies or gentlemen at home, work on your cars, know exactly what I'm going through here. Is you just kind of box crap up. I might as well start here. And that's all carbs. And you're just trying to find something you've just thrown in a pile. Harmonic balancers, flex plates. Well, we're on the right track. Here's some pulleys. Carb spacers. Sending unit, water pump. Oh, money. There it is. So here's the bracket we're looking for. So here, let me throw stuff in here. If not, it'll sit here forever and I'll never move it. All right. So here's the bracket we're looking for to mount that alternator to at the top. The problem that I'm seeing though is I only have, let's get over here, one hole at the top up here on the head to utilize. So let me see if I can get this figured out, and I'll check back with you guys here in just a couple minutes. All right, guys, here is where I'm at right now with kind of mocking this up. This is the chrome one wire alternator, actually off Artie over there. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough clearance to fit this big old massive NOS radiator, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. So where I'm at is here's this V bracket here. I think I'm gonna have to tap the head a little bit to get another bolt. We'll find that out in a little bit. But anyway, so I've got my adjustment bracket here, which is also about 4 inches too short. So what I think I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna fab up a extension for this, weld it into place, and I'll just like, you know, hillbilly spray paint and chrome this thing or paint it black, whatever for now, and mount it to the water pump here. And then we'll kind of go from there. But the good thing is it lines up down here where this pulley's gonna go. See if I can line you up. So I'm still gonna have to take all this part and put this, wherever it went. Yeah, I can't find the other pulley. I've laid it down somewhere. But anyway, that's where I'm at for now. So let's keep plugging away and see if we can get this dialed in. And then my buddy Smoke will come over here and wire this all in for us and get that ready, wire in the gauge, so on and so forth. All right, cool, guys. It's been probably about a half an hour, but we've got the primitive alternator like mock-up ready to go. All right, so this is just a mock-up for now, but I think we're gonna roll with something similar. So we got the alternator set up here. We got our top bracket ready. We're just about limited out on that, so we're gonna have to be pretty close when we buy a belt. Then we got our V bracket set there. And everything is super firm, so it's not going anywhere. But now the difficult part, we've got to get down there and redo all of that jazz. And that means we got to pull the radiator and get all those pulleys put off, and so we can get that spacer out right there and get that pulley keeps walking away and get this pulley installed. And then I think I've got the belt we're gonna need here, and then we'll give her a whirl. All right, guys, we got his radiator out, and I'm here to tell you, this thing just absolutely got roached up there in Connecticut. I mean, and like I said in the last video, that's my fault. I didn't have much water in there because we had to fix a bunch of stuff actually the day we were leaving. So I won't make that mistake again, but whew, good night of living. So we're gonna have to get that all cleaned and polished back up. Now we're good to go to get back in here and get back to work. And that means getting all of this out of here. So we're gonna take those 6 primary bolts, that one big crank bolt out, remove the belt pulley, and then remove this spacer, which is a royal pain in the butt, so we can get this V-belt pulley put in and see if we can line up for our alternator. And then we'll put everything back together. But while this is apart, I'm gonna do some cleaning. Squirt's gonna come down here in a little bit and help too. And just, I mean, this is a mess. I might even try to take this front bumper back off and straighten it up a little bit. Read on the paint. Just kind of clean it up for everybody coming to Michigan. I've got to reattach my bracket here from where we hit the wall. I actually got to reattach it on both sides. So, yeah, we're going to try to clean that up a little bit while I got it apart. Probably going to take the headers back off, repaint those. You know, it might just take a lot of this apart and polish it and put it back together because that looks absolutely terrible. All right, cool, guys. So we got the bolts out, the belt pulley out, the spacer out, and now we're just down to the balancer, and man, that stuff is dirty. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all this up before we put this pulley on, and then we'll line up our belt, see what we look like with our alternator set up, And if we're dialed in there, then we'll go ahead and get everything kind of mounted up and set. If we're not okay, then we're gonna have to do some more work to this. But like I said from the beginning, it's gonna be cool to be able to make our own power for our batteries, so we're not taking 2 and 3 batteries with us every trip. So let's get all this cleaned up. We'll do some investigating, see what all we got going on in here. Again, I know I got some repairs to make to my little radiator support here, but better than expected, and at least he's not blown up, right? All right, guys, there we go. So we got that spacer out, got the new belt pulley spacer in, got the alternator set up, got everything just kind of pre-tightened up here. Now, I don't have everything completely tight, dialed in, because we've got some painting to do on some of these brackets. We're going to some touch-up polishing. And then Squirt and I, we are about ready to tear this engine back down, take these stacks off, and we are going to get all of this cleaned. I mean, the engine is completely roached. So we're going to take this all off, polish everything up for all you all coming up there to Michigan at Sick Powerfest. So we're going to get Homer dialed in. I think we're going to go ahead and try to get this bumper straightened out and get this fixed. But yeah, so we got us a nice alternator installed. So we are going to have power now. And then, you know, the radiator, like I showed you a while ago, it's good and jacked up. So we're going to get that cleaned and polished. And then I've got some special stuff we're going to be putting on Homer for the event, which is going to be cool. So again, guys, that's going to be it for today. Now you're going to have a video tomorrow, because we're going to spend probably the next 4 or 5 hours between myself, Kathy, and Squirt, tearing Homer down and getting him cleaned up, getting this, you know, bumper straightened out and all that other jazz. But anyway, as usual, we're going to take you on for the ride on that. I'm going to get all this stuff cleaned back up. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you next time. BRG out.